Hello, this is Dark Whispers of Korea. Today's story is The Foolish Son-in-Law, a tale inspired by the Babosawi Seolhwa legend. Let's listen together. Min-jun woke to the sound of his wife reading.
The foolish son-in-law required a string tied to his genitals to remember proper behavior. His wife pulled once for bow, twice for speak, 3 times for smile.
Every morning, the same story. Every morning, Min-jun felt the phantom string tighten.
Why do you read that to me every day?
His voice came out hollow like wind through an empty house. Soo-young looked up from the ancient book, her eyes unreadable.
Because if I don't, you disappear.
The apartment in Jongno-gu smelled of old paper and regret. 20 years of marriage, but Min-jun couldn't remember their wedding, couldn't remember his childhood, couldn't remember anything before the string.
That's not true. I remember breakfast. I ate miyokguk this morning.
No. You watched me eat, then you said you ate. Your bowl is still clean.
She pushed the bowl toward him, untouched, unreal.
I don't understand.
Look at yourself.
She tore his shirt open. Min-jun looked down. His skin looked normal at first, but when she pressed her fingers into his chest, the surface gave way like paper. Beneath his flesh, characters writhed. Not tattoos, not scars. Words, hanja. Ancient words carved into the substance of his being.
What is this?
Your true form. Chishu. Chiseo, the foolish son-in-law.
Min-jun clawed at his arm. The skin peeled away in strips, revealing more text underneath. Sentences, paragraphs. His entire body was made of story.
No, this isn't real. I'm real. I have memories. I have a life.
You have a script. 1 pull for bow, 2 pulls for speak.
She held up her hand. Min-jun felt the phantom string tighten around his groin. 1 pull. His body bowed without permission.
Stop it!
2 pulls.
His mouth opened against his will.
Please enjoy your meal. Please enjoy your tobacco.
The words came out mechanical, rehearsed, not his own. He grabbed his throat, trying to stop them, but they kept coming.
Please enjoy your meal. Please enjoy your tobacco. Please enjoy your meal. Please enjoy your tobacco.
3 pulls.
Min-jun's face twisted into a smile, a horrible, unnatural smile that stretched too wide, like a mask being pulled by invisible wires.
See, you don't control anything. You never have.
The string broke. Min-jun gasped, falling to his knees. For the first time in 20 years, his body was his own, but the freedom came with a terrible understanding.
How long have I been this?
20 years. Since the day I pulled you from that book.
She went to the bookshelf, pulled down a worn volume. Yongjae Chonghwa, the Joseon era collection of strange tales. She opened it to a marked page.
Read it.
Oh, Min-jun saw the story. The Babo Jaibi, the foolish son-in-law who needed a string to teach him manners, who made a fool of himself at his father-in-law's house, who repeated greetings while an old man choked on blood.
This is just a story, a joke. I'm not this.
Then who are you? Tell me your name before you married me.
Silence. His mind reached for the memory. Found nothing? No childhood name, no parents, no past. Only the role, only the story.
You're Min-jun, a name I gave you because it sounded real. But you were never real. You were lonely and I was lonely. So I made you.
The apartment shuddered. Cracks appeared in the ceiling, spreading like veins of ice. Through the gaps, Min-jun saw something else. Another world. The world of unwritten pages.
Why? Why would you do this?
Because I'm 71 years old and I've been alone my entire life. I'm a folklore professor who spent decades studying stories but couldn't live one. So I pulled a husband out of the pages. Someone who would never leave, never judge, never die.
She was crying now, real tears cutting through decades of careful control.
Every morning I read the story. Every morning you wake up new. And I have to teach you how to be a person all over again. It's exhausting. But it's better than being alone.
A figure appeared in the hallway, young, wearing a Joseon-era hanbok. Her face was translucent, and through it Min-jun could see more text, more story.
He's remembering.
The ghost bride's voice was thin as rice paper, ancient as ink.
Hae-won, not yet, he's not ready.
He'll never be ready. I've waited 600 years for him to be ready.
The bride moved closer. Min-jun saw his own story reflected in her hollow eyes. Every telling, every retelling, always the same, always the fool.
Do you know what it's like to be trapped in a joke for 6 centuries? To have your shame told at family gatherings while children laugh? To be remembered only for your stupid husband?
I didn't ask for this role.
Neither did I, but here we are. You in your false flesh, me in my false death. Both of us prisoners of the same tale.
More figures appeared, not one by one, but all at once like a dam breaking. They flooded the apartment, dozens, hundreds, all of them translucent, all of them made of text and memory.
Let us go. Let us go. Let us go.
A scholar with ink for blood, a maiden with flowers growing from her mouth, a child with holes where eyes should be. Every folktale Soo-young had ever studied, every story she'd pulled into her desperate, lonely reality, all demanding release.
I didn't mean for it to spread, I only wanted you. But stories are hungry, they want witnesses, they want to be real.
Then let us go. Burn the book. End this.
If I burn the book, you all vanish. You won't be free, you'll just stop existing.
Is that so different from this? This half-existence, this endless retelling?
Min-jun looked at the ghost bride, really looked, and saw the woman beneath the translucent form. Young, frightened, trapped in her own narrative for 600 years.
There's another way. We change the story.
You can't change 600 years.
We can end it. Give it a proper ending. Not a joke, not a loop. An ending with dignity.
He walked to the bookshelf, pulled down the Yongjai Chonghua. The pages felt warm, alive, aware of his touch. He found the story of the foolish son-in-law.
What if I destroy it?
He raised the book, ready to tear it apart.
No. If you tear the book, they'll be trapped forever in that moment. Faster dying, you smiling, everyone laughing. An eternal loop with no witnesses.
Don't, please. At least this way someone reads us. Someone remembers.
The apartment was coming apart now. The walls between reality and story dissolving. Through the gaps, Min-jun saw the white void of unwritten pages, and he understood. Destroying the story wouldn't free them, it would trap them forever.
Then we don't destroy it. We finish it.
What do you mean?
Stories end. They have to end. But they need proper endings, not punchlines, not loops. Endings that give meaning to the pain.
He handed the book to Soo-young.
Write it. The ending. Make me wise instead of foolish. Make Hae-won respected instead of shamed. Give us what we never had in 600 years of telling.
If I change it, you might disappear. The binding might break.
Good. I'd rather not exist than exist like this. But I don't think we'll disappear. I think we'll finally be free.
Soo-young's hand trembled as she took out her pen, the one she'd used for 40 years to annotate texts. She found a blank space in the margin of the page.
What do I write?
That the son-in-law was not as foolish as he seemed. That when he felt the string pull, he understood something was wrong. He stopped his greetings and looked around, saw the cat with the dried pollock, laughed and removed the string himself, then went to his father-in-law and tended to him with genuine care, not rote responses.
She wrote. As her hand moved, the ghosts stopped their chorus. They watched, hundreds of translucent faces turn toward the book, toward this new possibility.
I saw her husband's true nature then. Not foolish, but careful. Not stupid, but learning. And she loved him, not for his obedience, but for his growth.
The apartment stopped shaking. The cracks in the walls began to seal, but differently this time. Not returning to what they were, but becoming something new.
I can feel it. Father isn't dying anymore. In the story, he's recovering. The son-in-law's quick thinking saved him.
The ghost bride began to solidify, becoming less translucent. Color bloomed in her cheeks. She looked down at her hands in wonder.
Thank you for giving me a different ending.
She bowed, a proper bow full of genuine respect. Then she faded. Not disappearing, but returning to the story, now changed, now preserved in its new form. One by one, the other ghosts followed. The scholar, the maiden, the child, all of them returning to their tales, but transformed. No longer jokes or warnings or cautionary tales, now stories of growth, of change, of wisdom earned.
Do I still exist?
He looked at his hands. They seemed more solid than before, less like the idea of hands and more like actual flesh. The text beneath his skin was fading, becoming invisible, becoming real.
I think so. But differently, you're not the character from the story anymore. You're the character who changed the story. That makes you something new.
What happens tomorrow when you read it again?
I don't know. Maybe you'll be stronger, maybe you'll be more real. Or maybe this is your last day and I should let you rest.
They stood in the transforming apartment, neither quite real nor quite fictional, existing in the liminal space between tale and truth.
Read it again tomorrow, but not to control me. Read it to remember me, the way stories should be remembered, with respect.
I can do that. Then maybe tomorrow you could tell me a story about who you want to become.
I'd like that.
Outside, the storm had passed. The first light of dawn crept through the windows, and in that gray space between night and day, Min-jun felt something he'd never felt before. Hunger. Real, physical hunger.
I think I'd like some breakfast. Real breakfast that I actually eat.
Soo-young smiled, and it was genuine, not the controlled expression of a puppeteer, but the relief of someone who'd finally let go.
I'll make miyako, my mother's real recipe, not the one you're supposed to remember.
As she moved to the kitchen, Min-jun picked up the book again. The words had changed permanently. The old story was still there, but now it had an alternative ending, handwritten in the margins. A story within a story, a choice within a fate. They ate breakfast together in comfortable silence. The miyokguk was hot and savory, and for the first time Min-jun tasted it. Really tasted it. The salt, the sesame oil, the comfort of 1,000 mothers making this soup for their children. After breakfast, they sat together on the couch. Soo-young opened the book one more time.
Should I read it?
Yes, but this time I'll listen knowing I'm a story. And that's okay. We're all stories, aren't we? Just trying to be well told.
She read the old version and the new ending. As her voice filled the apartment, Min-jun felt himself not dissolving, but settling, like ink soaking into paper, becoming permanent. When she finished, he was still there, still solid, still real, or real enough.
You're still here.
I am, and I think I'll be here tomorrow too, and the day after, as long as you keep telling the story right.
That night, they slept, and in their sleep they dreamed. Min-jun dreamed of stories yet to be written, of choices yet to be made. Soo-young dreamed of forgiveness, of letting go, of love that wasn't control but companionship. And in the book on the shelf, the story rested, changed forever. The foolish son-in-law was no longer just a punchline. He was a character who learned, who grew, who chose wisdom. And the wife who had tied the string was no longer just a device for the joke. She was a woman who recognized wisdom when she saw it and learned to let go. The old tales say that stories never die, they just change with each telling. In a small apartment in Gyeongno-gu, one story had changed profoundly, from comedy to tragedy to something new, something that might, with enough retellings, become truth. Dawn came again. Min-jun woke to find himself still solid, still real, still becoming. Beside him, Soo-young stirred, and he saw on her face the peace of someone who had finally put down a burden she'd carried too long. She would read the story again today, and tomorrow, and the day after that. Each time, the new ending would become more fixed, more real, until no one remembered the old version. Until the foolish son-in-law was always wise, the shamed wife always respected. That's how stories work. That's how we all work. We tell ourselves into being, one word at a time, one choice at a time, until the tale we're living becomes the tale worth telling. And in the space between folklore and reality, between what was written and what could be, Min-jun and Soo-young began again. Not a reset, but a continuation. The story of two people learning to be real, together.